Dear 8th standard students, today we are going to do lesson number 6, chemical reactions. In this chapter, beta, you have already done this first page. Do it yourself. You know all these things. So, what we discuss here is this part, change in energy in a reaction. And this part also we have done in one earlier chapter, right? So all reactions are accompanied by a change in energy. Energy change takes place, either energy is absorbed or is given out. So on the basis of whether energy is absorbed, if it is absorbed we call it endothermic reaction. If energy is released or evolved, we call it exothermic reaction. So chemical reaction in which heat or light energy is evolved is called exothermic reaction. A chemical reaction in which heat or light energy is absorbed is called endothermic reaction. In an exothermic reaction, heat or light energy is given out. That is why you feel hot when you accidentally touch any burning thing, because heat is given out. If you touch in endothermic reaction, heat is taken in. So that is why when you touch a cube of ice, okay, then you feel cold. Ice tends to melt when you touch it. Melting of ice is endothermic because your body is given heat to the ice and it melts, right? So that becomes endothermic process, although physical process, right? Now why a change in energy is there in a reaction? Why this energy change takes place, means why energy is given out or why energy is taken in. This also we have discussed in chapter earlier, this year only. As we know, any two atoms in a molecule are held together by force of attraction called chemical bond. This is the definition of chemical bond. And also that chemical bond is much stronger than intermolecular force. This also we know. Chemical bonds are stronger always than intermolecular forces. We also know that it is the atoms that take part in a chemical reaction. We know. Thus, we can consider a chemical reaction to be a result of the following. What is the chemical reaction? Breaking of bonds of the reactants molecules so as to set the atoms free for new combination. Means first of all bonds are broken, old bonds are broken, bonds of reactants are broken. In this case energy is absorbed, and when these atoms formed after breaking of bonds, atoms are formed, atom recombine, they combine differently now and form new bonds. When new bonds are formed, energy is released, that is energy is released when fresh new bonds are formed, right? So that means energy required for breaking of bonds of the reactant molecule is not same as that of given out in the formation of bonds of new partners. Now energy absorbed during breaking is not same as energy released during formation. They are different. Why? Because different substances are involved. Reactants are different, products are different. If the reactant and product are different, then energy associated with them is also different. When energy given out in the formation of bond, energy given out means formation is more. This energy is more, and energy required to break the bond is less. Energy released is more, used is less. Then extra surplus of energy is there, and that energy is released. Suppose in breaking in the making of new bonds, energy released is say 1000 joule, but energy required to break is 500 joule. So released is 500 joule more than energy used for breaking, right? So that 500 joule is extra surplus that is released. So exothermic reaction takes place. Same way, however, when the energy required for breaking of bonds is greater, energy required for breaking is greater, but energy released during formation is lesser than extra energy we have to give. See, for breaking we need 1000 joule, now released is 500 joule, so 500 joule extra we have to give from outside to the reactants and products, right? So then reaction becomes a endothermic reaction, right? So this is explanation for endothermic reaction, and this is explanation for exothermic reaction. And here they are showing, see, this A molecule, B molecule. When A molecule we have to break, we have to give energy. See, energy is given, here also given. And A molecule, this bond bar is shown, that is not shown here, that means bond is broken. Here also B bond is broken. Then A and B combine, same way the second A also combine with second B. So when combination, new bonds are formed now, then energy is given out. They are showing the arrow out. So energy is given out. Energy is taken in, absorbed during breaking of bonds, and released during making of new bonds. Examples of exothermic reaction. Many examples are there. See, hydrogen is the best fuel. It burn, right, and form water and release large amount of energy. Highly exothermic reaction. Carbon, coal or carbon burn to form carbon dioxide and release large amount of energy. Methane burn. Methane is CNG, compressed natural gas is also methane it is, and it burn to form carbon dioxide and water and release large amount of energy. Exothermic reaction. Same way LPG, butane, C4H10. This also burn. Balancing is little difficult, try to do it. Okay, burn to form carbon dioxide and water and large amount of energy. So burning of anything, okay, that is exothermic reaction. How some active metal react with water? Active metals are potassium, sodium, calcium. They react vigorously with water, means vigorously exothermically. In fact, they react explosively. When water comes in contact with sodium and potassium, it catches fire. Water and potassium, when they react, fire is there. Exothermic reaction takes place, and formation of hydroxide. See, potassium react with water, potassium hydroxide is formed and hydrogen is formed. Sodium react with water, sodium hydroxide is formed and hydrogen is formed. Calcium also react with water to form calcium hydroxide and hydrogen. So these are exothermic reactions. Now come to dissolution of metal oxide. Some metal oxides like sodium oxide, they dissolve in water, right, and form their hydroxide, sodium hydroxide. And when oxide dissolve in water, the reaction is exothermic. In this case, some metal oxides only do like this. When calcium oxide, chuna, we used to put during sports day, right? When calcium oxide react with water, calcium hydroxide is formed, right? And if in calcium hydroxide you put more water, you will get calcium hydroxide aqueous solution, that is lime water. And this reaction of calcium with water is called slakening of lime. So here in this part it is explained. Now next is dissolution of non-metal in oxide in water. Carbon dioxide is oxide of carbon. Carbon is a non-metal, so non-metal oxide. It dissolves in water to form carbonic acid. This is also exothermic reaction. In cold drinks, carbon dioxide is dissolved in water, so we have carbonic acid. That is why the taste of cold drink is slightly acidic. That is, in science we call it tingling taste. Sulfur dioxide also dissolved in water to form sulfuric acid. Sulfur trioxide dissolve in water to form sulfuric acid. This last reaction is highly exothermic reaction. Reaction between base and acid, acidic oxide. Acidic and basic oxides, they also react exothermically, right? Exothermically to form salt. Sodium oxide and carbon dioxide react to form sodium carbonate. Exothermic reaction this is. Calcium oxide and carbon dioxide form calcium carbonate. This is also exothermic reaction. Neutralization. In neutralization reaction, you know what is neutralization? Reaction between acid and base to form salt and water. NaOH is a base, HCl is acid. They react to form salt, NaCl and water. This reaction is also exothermic. All neutralization reactions are exothermic. KOH and sulfuric acid, okay, base and acid, okay, in solution form. Aqueous means solution form, react to form salt and water. So this is also exothermic reaction. Potassium sulfate and water is formed. Activity, we take equal amount of sodium hydroxide and HCl and react and just mix them in a test tube and touch the test tube. The test tube becomes slightly warm. It means exothermic reaction has taken place. Reaction of an acid with the metal carbonate. You know, metal carbonates, they react with acid to form three things: salt, water and carbon dioxide. In all cases, salt will be different, but carbon dioxide and water always will be there. See, sodium carbonate react with HCl to form salt, sodium chloride. Water and carbon dioxide always will be there, and these two products are always there. You have to take tension of the salt. How? You can write the formula. See, metal in carbonate is sodium and negative part of HCl acid is Cl. So sodium chloride, a name you will get, and formula of sodium chloride is NaCl. Same way, calcium and negative part is Cl. So calcium chloride, formula of calcium chloride is CaCl2. So the other two products are same always. So these are also exothermic reactions. Now respiration. Respiration, you know, when we breathe, oxygen goes into our body, absorbed in the blood, in the lungs. That oxygenated blood reaches each and every part of the body, and in the cells also. And in the cells, glucose, food is stored there as glucose, that react with oxygen to form carbon dioxide and water, and energy is released. And that energy released, okay, is used to sustain our life processes. I'm teaching, you are learning. We are spending energy. So from where we are getting it? Because of respiration only we are getting. Right? And for voluntary and involuntary exercises also we need this energy. Now next is rusting. Rusting is also exothermic process. You know what happens in rusting? Iron come in contact with air, oxygen is present in air, and moisture is also present in air, come in contact with them and form this compound. Just leave to Fe2O3 dot X water, means hydrated, means water is there, hydrated ferric oxide. This is hydrated iron 3 oxide. In place of iron 3 you can write ferric oxide also. Hydrated iron 3 oxide, and this substance is a brownish color and powdery substance and have is called rust. And this reaction is exothermic reaction, although we cannot feel the heat because this reaction is too slow. If any exothermic reaction is very slow, you cannot feel that heat is produced or not. Now there are some examples of endothermic process. See, combination of nitrogen and oxygen during lightning in the air. You know, nowadays rain is there, so lightning is also there. So lightning, nitrogen and oxygen, they are present in air, and during lightning, or if in the lab you are doing this experiment, then electric spark you have to produce. Then nitrogen and oxygen react to form nitric oxide. Right? This is endothermic reaction. And when lightning takes place or electric spark is there, reaction takes place. If you stop the lightning or the electric spark, then reaction also stops. So this is endothermic reaction. Thermal decomposition. Thermal decomposition means this definition: breaking down of substance into simpler substance on being heated is called thermal decomposition. Definition: carbonates of many metal decompose on heating and form their metal oxide and carbon dioxide. Right? But only two metals are carbonates are exception: sodium and potassium carbonate. These two on heating do not decompose. Right? Other carbonate decompose on heating. So here example is calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate on heating form calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Calcium carbonate, if you want to know, chalk is calcium carbonate. Right? Limestone stones, for making house, surface of the house is we are using pathar, no, that is mainly it is calcium carbonate only. Limestone, Taj Mahal is made up of limestone only, calcium carbonate and magnesium carbonate. So on heating, what they form, their respective oxide. Calcium carbonate form calcium oxide, carbon dioxide. Magnesium carbonate will form magnesium oxide and carbon dioxide. Next is photosynthesis. We know plant prepares its food, glucose, from atmospheric carbon dioxide and soil moisture obtained from soil in the presence of chlorophyll by absorbing sunlight. You already know this. So but see, by absorbing sunlight, so when any kind of energy is absorbed, what kind of reaction is this? Exothermic reaction, endothermic reaction, because heat is absorbed and chlorophyll is required to form glucose and oxygen is released. So these are endothermic reaction. Endothermic physical processes are also there. Some processes are endothermic but physical. See, melting, you have to give heat, then only ice will melt. So endothermic. Boiling, you have to give heat, then only water will boil. Endothermic. These are endothermic processes they are given. Now exothermic, endothermic, there are some other also which maybe you don't know. Ammonium chloride and ammonium nitrate. If you dissolve these substance in water, in test tube you take ammonium chloride or ammonium nitrate and add water and touch the test tube, it becomes cold. Why cold? Because heat is taken from the test tube and surroundings. Heat is taken by the ammonium chloride for dissolving in water. If heat is taken by ammonium chloride, naturally the heat of the test tube will be less, so it is cold. Glucose, when you put glucose in your mouth, you feel colder. Why? Because glucose take heat from your mouth and then dissolve in water present in your saliva, right? So that is endothermic reaction. Some common observations regarding these things. Exothermic reaction are more common. Why? Because exothermic reaction do not need any energy from surroundings. If any reaction do not need any energy from surroundings, then naturally it is more common. Exothermic reactions are more common. Once they begin, when exothermic reaction begin, continue on their own. Only we have to start. Sometimes we have to start. Once the reaction starts, then heat produced in the reaction help the reaction to continue. It will continue then, because some heat is required to keep a reaction going, and the heat is generated on its own during the exothermic reaction. For example, when you light a combustible substance, a candle, it burns on its own. In the beginning you have to light, but afterwards it burns on its own. When it starts rusting, a piece of iron continues to do so, though slowly, till the iron is eaten up. So exothermic reaction, once it starts, it will continue, because heat released in rusting is used up for the further rusting of the iron metal. However, this does not happen in endothermic reaction. In endothermic reaction it is different, because such a reaction does not generate any heat. So heat is not generated. So we have to supply heat. The reaction goes on only as long as energy is supplied. Right? And you stop giving energy, reaction is stopped. Like calcium carbonate, if you give energy, reaction takes place. Stop heating, the reaction will stop, because it is endothermic reaction. Same way this electric spark also, nitrogen and oxygen combine to form nitric oxide only when electric spark is there, or lightning is there. In nature, lightning, in the lab, electric spark is there, then only this reaction takes place. Also, photosynthesis takes place in the presence of sunlight. Does it ever happen in the dark? No. Why? Because light is not there. So light is continuously given by sun. Photosynthesis is continuous. If it is not given, the photosynthesis will cease to take place or stops to take place. Most exothermic reaction too have to be initiated. Exothermic reactions have to be started. Initiated means they have to start. See, if you have to put on the LPG stove, so what you are doing with the lighter, you are starting the reaction between LPG and the air, and once the reaction start, then it continues. But you have to start. If you just put on the knob and you are not using lighter or a matchstick, then the burning will not take place. So you have to start the reaction, initiate the reaction. So most of the exothermic reaction have to be started, initiated. And once the reaction is initiated, then it continues. Quite often it has been initiated by heating the reactant, like in LPG burning, we have to produce that one spark with a lighter or with matchstick, and the spark heat the reactants. What are the reactants? LPG and oxygen. When they are heated, they start reacting, right? The reactant, igniting them, passing or by using electric spark, that lighter, or when exposing to UV light. If a UV light is also there, then also the reactants will absorb like a UV. See, these reactants, carbon dioxide and oxygen, they absorb sunlight, then only reaction takes place. So sunlight should be there to start this reaction, right? So starting should be there even in exothermic reactions also. Start. For example, substance burns when ignited, hydrogen react with oxygen when ignited, and so on. You will learn this in higher classes how it continues. But I have given you example of LPG, which is not given here. Why? Because it is common for you. You can understand easily. Okay. Now in the next video I will explain types of chemical reaction. Thank you.